But in every case, the actual legal transactions which are happening are very simple, and the on-chain stuff is happy path.
Złote zuby.
Sad path, where things begin to go dramatically wrong, you lock the assets on-chain and then you deal with everything offline in the court.
No, that doesn't sound great.
For now.
No, you're talking about legal agreements, so arbitration is the court.
Arbitration, yeah. I mean, I keep using arbitration for court. It's not court. It's a tribunal. I keep misusing the term. Arbitration tribunal.
It's a formal process for arbitration. But
formal process for arbitration under UK law, UK jurisdiction task force rules. Let me grind one more point on this. So the limit on what you can do on chain is defined by the limit of what the buyers and sellers lawyers will accept on chain. So when the buyer and seller lawyers are both very, very, very paper-based, what you show them is that what's happening on chain is basically DocuSign plus payments. Use DocuSign, use DocuSign. This is DocuSign, but you could issue an invoice in the DocuSign and then you could sign the contract and make the payment that activates the contract. Oh yeah, and you do it on the blockchain, yeah. And the record is permanent, yeah. DocuSign with payments and yeah, okay, fine. If we were to build a system that was digital arbitration, where the arbitration tribunal accepts evidence on chain, they make a ruling on chain, you've got some interface with a video call where they've got a big red button they can push for which way they're going to vote, and we show them that whole thing. Right now, the buyer and seller lawyers they'd just freak. Oh my God, what the hell are you trying to do? No. So we have to kind of not get the technology too far ahead of what the asset handling lawyers will accept. And the asset handling lawyers are not blockchain lawyers, right? We don't have to convince blockchain lawyers. They're already sold. They love us. No. We have to convince gold industry lawyers.
Art lawyers?
Yeah,
good luck. That makes sense.
It's fine. It'll work. Right? Because, we walk in and we're like, well, so here is Sir Geoffrey Voss's statement about the future of the blockchain and enforcement of contract under English law. And here's the UK Jurisdiction Task Force Digital Dispute Resolution rules. And as you can see, we contributed to the rules, are named in the rules, and we're the first company in the UK to use the rules. And, well, if Sir Geoffrey Voss says that this is a responsible way of handling disputes involving digital assets, I think that your legal team will probably find this acceptable. And the legal team are like, the master of the rolls? Yes, the master of the rolls. The head of civil justice for UK and Wales? Yes. He thinks the blockchain is okay. He thinks the blockchain is going to be necessary for all financial transactions in the future, in the same way the internet is necessary to all kinds of consumer stuff now. Wow. And that's kind of the door opener. Without the work that the English judiciary had done in examining how the blockchain shows up inside of a courtroom or inside of an arbitration tribunal, it would be almost impossible to convince the legal fraternity that it was a responsible deployment of assets to put them on chain. Like the work that was done.
I love that term, the legal fraternity. That's wonderful. That paints the picture well, and the work you have to do.
It's funny. We at one point in the past we had a lawyer that did a podcast for our podcast network. It was called Law on Blockchain, and we had set up a way to pay her if we received a sponsor at the network level, and we did, and we paid her in crypto, and then she disputed me. She goes, "Hey, I never got my sponsorship cut," and I said, "Well, here's the transaction IDs. Like, it's not my fault if you don't check your wallets.
No more screen time.
Like, there it is." And she was like, "I'm going to need something more formal than this." And I said, "That's very funny. You're not going to get it from me. I'm not wasting my time, making a bunch of receipts and shit.
Away.
Like, you're in crypto. You're doing a crypto podcast. This is the blockchain. This is what it says. This is the wallet you gave me. That's where I sent the money. These are the transactions. It's over. Like, we don't need anything else." She's like, "Well, I'm going to need it else." And I was like, "Well, you're going to need a new network."
In February 2021, a winter storm that swept through Texas caused one system. The frequency of the alternating current dropped as the remaining generators were bogged down, falling below 59.4 hertz for over 4 years. That the sounds you should be hearing are gone. It only takes a groggy minute to piece it together. The refrigerator's silent, no air is flowing through the heating. Interconnected is a vulnerability too, because if things go very wrong, everyone's affected. We're in the midst of a deep dive series on wide-scale outages. and customers each that require power. Cellular networks use base stations, disabled on telecommunications. In addition to the emergency alert system that connects various levels of government to medication that must be refrigerated to 3 or 4. It's required that lift stations and treatment plants have backup power supply. In the best case scenario, that means
I don't like watching these kind of videos. I want like a smaller video to describe what to do when the power goes off, that's all.
Or two. Not
over the document, and then you put sealing wax over the golden string, and you have to punch some holes in the document and loop it through a particular way. And at the end of it, it produces this kind of medieval bundle of paper with some golden string wrapped through it, and then big seals that kind of stick everything down, and then you put the embossing on the big seals. And the English folks are just like, but it's the same document in the same office. And they're like, do you want the Germans to accept it or not? And so they go to the song and dance and they put all the gold seals and the string on it and stuff like that, and then they ship it to the Germans, and the Germans are like, fine, thank you for the document, notarization accepted. Form over content, culture over content.
That's
So, and all your lawyer wanted was, she wanted the freaking seal and the gold string. Can I have some gold string on this, please? And nobody will ever ask for the gold string. Oh, but this is done properly. It doesn't have gold string in it. Would you like some candles? And you can send you a little muffin with a candle. Would that help? No, I want my gold string. People are insane.
You are.
Okay, thinking back, we caused the first excitement for the future. Love. What did you feel of human relationships? Yeah. Harry Potter. Wasn't he killed in the end? The bad guy. And most important, non-fiction. Hey, you tell me. Yeah, what are your favorite organizations to join and support? My own network.